Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes and counting.
Hey guys, it's Niles. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making some viral TikTok recipes, but I'm going to make them vegan because a lot of them look really good, but they were like copious amounts of butter and milk and cheese, and I eat a plant-based diet, so I can't really eat that. I'm going to make some vegan and show you guys how to do it so we can join in on the fun for some quarantine cooking. So the first recipe is pancake cereal. This particular recipe was already vegan, however I did modify the flour and I have the ingredients, so it's just enough for one serving. So I used flour, baking powder, oat milk, vanilla, cinnamon, and syrup on top. And I went ahead and added half cup of flour. I used half teaspoon of baking powder. I used a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and I used I think I used a regular amount of milk. I used 3/4 cups of milk. And I added some cinnamon on top just for flavor. The cinnamon is optional. And I added some sugar just so I wouldn't have to add too much syrup at the end to make it taste sweeter. So I went ahead and mixed it together and got rid of all the lumps until it was a nice smooth consistency that, if you made pancakes before, you should know what it looks like. It looks like this. And I went ahead and poured it into this measuring cup just so I can use the spout to transport it to the bag much easier and wouldn't make a mess because I saw that coming from a mile away. And I poured it into the bag. I closed the bag on the top and I cut one corner, and I poured small little dollops into this buttered pan. And I tried not to make them too big or too small, but clearly I struggled at that. I'm not used to using a piping bag. So I went ahead and flipped over each pancake after letting it cook for a little bit on each side. And these look a little burnt, but they were fine. And so I just did this with the entire bag until I got the entire bowl. Then I put some earth balance and some maple syrup on top, and this is a pancake cereal. It was really tasty, really easy, and really fun to make. And this is something that I can see myself making in the future just because it's actually not that hard to make and the ingredients are pretty simple. So it wasn't, too difficult, and it was actually really fun. I think this is something that will be fun to do with friends or with family. It's just a nice way, like if you want to make a nice easy breakfast fun and do something special for yourself. So the next recipe is a breakfast sandwich. She's using egg and cheese and bacon. I used carrot bacon for mine. So I started off with this just egg, and I shook it up and poured some in a bowl. My first mistake was not knowing how much egg to use. I don't know how much translates into a regular egg. And I just went ahead and added some salt and some pepper just to season it a little bit, and I stirred it up. And I poured it into a buttered pan, and some got on the stove, but don't mind that. And so as you can see, it looks kind of thin. I didn't know how much to put in, but this was, spoiler alert, not enough. So I placed my bread slices into the egg mixture, and I tried to make it so that the outside pieces wouldn't have egg on them like the original recipe, but I just ended up not using enough egg mixture, and it turned out like this, not connected. Like the eggs should have been one flat surface across the bread slices, if that makes sense. So this is me trying to put it together. It's not working. It's not enough egg mixture. I just scraped up what I could and I put it on top, and off camera I actually made some more eggs just to put on top. So this is me placing the carrot bacon I made on one side. I was just trying out the recipe, so it's not that much. I would have used more. And for the cheese, I'm using BioLife, just like feta. This is a really good vegan cheese brand. They always get the flavor and consistency just right, and it also has vitamin B12, so enjoy. So this is me flipping the eggs over the cheese, and you can see how it's not connected. I think that the bread should have been really connected, how it is on one side. And this is me struggling to flip. Everything about this was just one big struggle. And this is the final product. It looks like a pile of trash, but it's It tasted fine, and I think it's ironic that I filmed this wearing a Sailor Moon t-shirt because it reminds me of that scene when Usagi and Chibi Usa made cookies together.
Maybe mine aren't fancy and don't look perfect, but the proof will be in the taste.
So the next recipe is a brownie and a mug, and I couldn't find the actual recipe that I based mine off of, but this one was pretty similar. So all I did was add half a cup of flour. I used 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, a little bit of salt. I added an 1/8 tablespoon of baking soda and 2 tablespoons of veggie oil. Here I'm using olive oil, but you can use any oil you have. I didn't show it in the video, but 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then I added a 1/4 cup of milk and a tablespoon of milk, and I just poured that into the cup. Mix it all together, and I just put it in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and that was just enough. So my camera died here, so this is me taking footage on my phone. This is what it looks like. You can see it's nice and steamy. It was very hot, so be careful. And yeah, it was really good. It was a really cakey texture. But it was still dense enough that it, felt like you're eating a brownie. So basically all of the dishes turned out pretty tasty. I like the breakfast sandwich idea. Of course, I just have to get better at making it, but it tasted really good. The pancake cereal was really delicious. I've seen people eat it with milk, but I don't think it really needs that. It was fine just with some butter and some syrup. And the brownie, I thought that the brownie was really tasty. It served the purpose of satisfying that craving for brownie without having to bake a whole pan of it. So all in all, I say that these recipes were really tasty and fun, and I do recommend them all. Leave a comment on which recipe that you think you'll try or want to try. I recommend all of them. They're pretty fun. I'm going to edit this video now, and I will see you all later. Bye. Thank you.